Hello, telephone.
Hey, how can I help you?
Hello, did you get my text?
I saw a text. I just decided to hit the ring number.
Oh, okay, it was kind of on the lines of basically, I know you don't like BCSO,
I
and
don't
I
not like it,
also
BCSO.
you don't. You put BCSO on my dick this morning.
To my dick. To my dick.
Is that's worse, isn't it? It's like the same thing. Semantics.
Well, yeah, it's just
There's
banter.
no way you like BCSO.
I actually like Bones a lot. We had a good hot to hot 2 days ago over at the courthouse.
Okay.
Yep. I don't like Cassidy.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yep. I don't like Ventura.
fair.
I like Quangle. I like Cade. Helen the Felon. She's interesting, but I don't know how she's a cop, to be honest.
No,
Yeah,
maybe
sticking guns in an ICU person's mouth and then looking through their cell
yeah, I
phone
mean, that's
is-
kind of crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, not kind of. I mean,
pretty-
that's like literally.
yeah, it's
cooked.
pretty crazy. Wait, she did. Wait a minute. Wait, she did that.
Yep.
Wait a
Nothing's
minute,
come out of it. It's been like a fucking month now.
Wait. When was that? That was
I don't know. Like about
that was when she was
probably a
off
month.
duty for a whole week or such. They wouldn't tell us why she was gone.
Yep, that, and I've heard this now from multiple people that are disconnected. So I don't believe that didn't happen.
No, I mean she just disappeared, and every day I was like, "Where's Helen?" She's here every day, and then they were like, "Oh, she's just gone." Like High Command wouldn't tell us, or no one would tell us why she was gone.
So I have issues with like particulars. I'm not a fan of cops dating gang members.
Well,
I
no,
think
that's
that's
just weird.
fucking, that's
Doesn't
kind of
make
where
any
my
sense.
Cassidy undersheriff, fucking Jenna is dating the leader of the Saints, which is
What? I hate him.
yeah. Oh yeah, he's the fucking Saints are just fucking
Oh, for
like
fuck's
what
sake.
what do the Saints provide other than like shooting
us.
people, and so it's kind of now you're starting to maybe see some of my perspective is these particular topics I bring up and I'm the bad guy. You know what I mean? So
Well,
that's where
I
my
kind of like
BCSO
sit on the middle
to my
ground of
dick comes
like,
from.
there's a lot of people in BCSO I also don't get on with that fair.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole the shit before when we weren't coming down south and all that, like I felt like they handled it horribly, personally.
I
But
will
obviously,
say-
I feel like there is friction with you not wanting us down there. A lot of the time.
No, that's so. I will give you the history of what happened from my perspective, right? Because you have to understand that there's politics happening. So a lot of
course,
things.
always.
It's easier for me to say BCSO to my dick, and those who know what I'm talking about know. But obviously, for you may not see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, there's also the line of I know Peters is he hired me as a mole and shit, and we were always fucking around, kind of poking the bear a little bit. So there's little bits and pieces, and then there's big deals.
I'll give you my TLDR, right? And why I don't really give a fuck anymore, type shit. And so, BCSO started crying 2 hours after I wanted bullet points. They came into my office 2 hours after I became mayor and asked for an interceptor unit. I was awake for 14 hours. I asked for bullet points. They started bitching about it. Like, why do we got to write it all down? I'm like, so there's no confusion and I can review it in the morning and then we'll talk. They didn't really want to talk after that. They were already pissed. Suck my fucking dick if the first thing you want from the mayor is a fucking interceptor unit instead of like, hey, the mayor's probably got to handle a bunch of shit. So what happens next? BCSO, the payment system was set up in a way where if any officer, whether their deputy officer operated south of Route 68, their payments came out of our budget. We were negative $25 million in the hole, and they were sitting down here in Mission Row, literally farming tickets. Soze saw it. I saw it. Through Soze, we changed the payment system. But before that happened, when I brought it up, and I'm like, hey, guys, this is a problem to our budget. You're bleeding us right now. And as a consequence, I had to reduce the pay. Otherwise, no one was going to get paid, because that's what happens when you go in the red. They started crying about it and saying, Nino doesn't want us down here, instead of understanding my exact concern. So that created more shit. And so then things just sort of slowly snowballed into a place where conversations could no longer happen. Oh, then there was the hacked legislation that was going around BCSO. Who hacked my laptop? I don't fucking know. But let's just say Bill Mays wrote something that was ridiculous. It was on my laptop, and somehow deputies knew about it and were talking about it around BCSO about how I'm going to charge them $3,000 through a toll booth on the highway, which never was the case. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I guess so. I mean, it seems very odd.
There's a lot of these oddities. So when you take all of this together, it turned into Nino doesn't want BCSO down in the South, and eventually I'm the kind of guy that says, like, okay, if you're going to say fuck shit, fine, I'm just going to agree that's exactly what I'm doing, even though that's not really the intent. So at a certain point, you got to just, like, you know, you just fucking, you know, you just wear the mask. You know what I mean?
Is there anything I can do to alleviate tensions between the two? Can I say anything to my high command to get them to fuck? Because I feel like Bones and Cassidy
I'm already speaking to Bones. Yeah, we're already talking
about
it. But I mean, I'm still gonna.
Cassidy's super like.
I'm still gonna talk shit though, because it's funny. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, look, genuinely speaking, after like with the incidents that I talked about like 2 months ago, right? Like I haven't really, you know. And then there was a bunch of shit about like LSPD officers were getting targeted for suspensions and shit. But then you'd see things like Helen the Felon happen, and like you know, it became very like LSPD versus BCSO. So obviously, I'm gonna back my department, and most of it, from my perspective, has been banter. And my argument would be, if it was anything more than banter, where's the evidence, right? I haven't submitted any legislation. I haven't like done anything that actionably would have fucked the BCSO. It's mostly just been shit talking, which I think is funny, and I think is you know, should be expected. So
yeah, I mean, even with the fucking legislation before with Moss and all that stuff, I was happy to go to the city. I was still going to the city every day. It was like, I don't care if you guys are my superior.
The reason Moss did that is, and I can understand her position. I can tell you that
I don't really
held
mind that she
me back, and the reason was because 2 cops died from BCSO, and they said,
"Oh, I know, yeah."
They didn't give a fuck, right? That was.
Well, I don't even mind that that happened.
Right?
Like I was fine with it. I don't care if you guys lead the charge in your own jurisdiction. It makes sense.
Yes, exactly. And I personally want the people of Los Santos County and the mayor that they elect into their county, and vice versa, for the people to have a feeling of autonomy, that the sheriff's department is running the way Blaine County residents want, and the people of Los Santos County have an LSPD that's running the way that the people want. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Otherwise, when you have like a UPD, right, which is weird because that's not even in legislation, it kind of goes against what the founding fathers of the Constitution would have wanted, right? You might as well not have 2 counties then, right? Because it's just one big mush of 2 different offices wearing different things. So that's kind of my position. So,
and it makes sense. I mean, like I've had my grievances with this department as well, to the point where I've considered moving multiple times at this point.
And LSPD's got its issues, like Den Shiesty.
I like Peters. Peters is good. Den Shiesty.
Because we're talking about the hacked laptop, Bones did not bring Meta in. Some jerk off brought it to the server, and people just thought it was real when there was no evidence of it. Yeah, Bones is very absolved of it. The reason we went, some jerk off. Nobody knows who, though, unfortunately. Yeah, Bones is good. Free and clear. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, dasMEHDI is sponsored by ExpressVPN. We have about 4 days to get 6 more signups. If you want to check it out, you get 3 months for free with a 1-year subscription. And a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you want to try it out, help us get to that 6, you can do so. And if you are not satisfied, you can get your money back for that 30-day mark. I personally have been using this from 2019 when playing games like Escape from Tarkov. If I'm having issues connecting to a 5M server, if I'm playing on a public server like Gmod or a public 5M server, and I want to prevent like a 15-year-old admin from getting my IP and DDoSing my ass. But what's good about like Escape from Tarkov and 5M is it connects you through a premium connection. It encrypts your internet so third parties can't like see what your traffic looks like, hides your IP address, but it also minimizes your ping and lag. It prevents your ISP from throttling your downloads. You get access to, you know, you can connect to Turkey, get games for cheaper. You can like, you know, connect to New Zealand, get region unlocks quicker, you know, play games earlier if they've got like, don't have a global release time. And one account can be used throughout your household. Really good if you're doing online banking or trading crypto, because let's be honest, if you're trading crypto or in your online, you know, bank account, do you really want to be doing that exposed without an internet condom? I wouldn't. expressvpn.com/dasMEHDI. Link in chat and the panel down below. I'll continue the conversation with him. Yeah, KZ is a great guy. Yeah, he is. It was never on him. However, in game, Nino kind of was like, find out who it is. You know what I mean? But I wanted to handle it in game. I mean, the alternative is like, what do you do? Do a player report on the entire BCSO? I'd rather keep things in RP. That's why we had Dark do it, but you know, never found out. But it's still in RP. How are you supposed to handle it? It's one of those like shitty things, right? Because effectively, like, and this is kind of why I highlighted, my office for 3 weeks had to handle RP that was based on meta. So how do you counter that? This was the best route to take, ultimately. They did. LSP was, 100%. Yeah. Do. 100%. I mean, look at the situation with Ventura going to the judge. You can't say that's in good faith or to protect people. Like, it doesn't pass the sniff test. You're dating felons. You're trampling on people's rights. But then all of a sudden you have one incident where you're trying to be a savior. No one's going to believe that. You know, there's ulterior motives. The motive is to screw over an investigation rather than... So is he a useful tool? Absolutely. But would you trust someone on that? No, of course not. It seems like all parties want the LSPD to fail and act. That's not true. I think the back and forth has been good. From an outside perspective, is that I think a lot of people on the server tend to sometimes will take things a little bit too far, right? But that's my personal opinion. Whether you go too hard on an investigation on somebody, unmerited on something small, I don't agree with like screwing over even cops to the extent of like completely like, I don't need to see a cop fired permanently from a department unless they, you know, I don't think gangs need to be completely foundation wiped. I don't think any of these things actually contribute to good storytelling. I think, you know, I'm not a big fan of like RP that does not involve all parties, right? Which even why like in my cases of conflict, I've gone down the route of like writing up letters or sending people like couriers. Because the thing is, like, if you have conflict without a like ability to, like find a resolution, then I don't even know whether I'd call that role playing, because I feel like you're sort of, you're actually, it feels very self-inserty, transparently. And I know that might sound a little bad, but like, you know, if the goal is generation of storylines, right? And you're not, you know, it requires a dance, and, you know, so even with like, and like, for example, I got a lot of shit for like, why am I talking to Siobhan? Remember with the whole Siobhan thing, ignoring everything else? We're like, what do you mean Siobhan is X, Y, and Z? I can't believe you're talking to her. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, bro, what do you like fucking ignore the other character for life? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? You're now not really creating any opportunity for RP. Your character can still be sus and untrusting, but if you don't give that line, if I didn't RP this way, Speedy would have permaed. If I didn't RP this way, you know, there wouldn't be Donnie and Nino. If there wasn't some of the greatest storylines and relationships have been created by people that are on opposite sides, and then through roleplay and circumstances, things change, right? But if you put up a massive impenetrable wall, are you really role-playing? Sonia and Nino. Yeah, that's true. Nino Chavez literally conducted one of the biggest heists in the history of NoPixel, breaking out a person out of prison just to execute them. And then over the course of a month, literally did torture RP. And now look at Nino and Sonia. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nino and Pred. True. That is very true. Nino and Pred were fucking rivals for like 6 months. Pred was trying to put Nino behind bars, and Nino was trying to ruin his investigations. Look at him now. You know what I mean? You need those ebbs and flows. Otherwise, I question whether it's... Like, for me, I question, and this isn't to say, like, judging other people, let them do what they want, like, not my place. But for me, my perspective is, to me, it comes across as not role play and self-insertiness. It just kind of is inherently what it is. Because at that point, if there's no back and forth, it's not really role play. And that is why, even when I played Brian, I never liked, and even to this day, think investigations that do not include all parties in the investigation, I think it's shit role play. If you're going to investigate someone for 2 months, you have their phone subpoenas, and you're not, if you're in your capacity doing like interrogations, you're not letting them be a part of it, then you're not role playing. You're trying to win. You're not creating a storyline, right? If you wake up and it's like, boom, oh my God, all my shit's gone, and there's a docket posting and no one's even spoken to me, you're not interacting with roleplay. You haven't been role played with. You've been mechanicked. You've literally been mechanicked at that point. And I would say that if you're not willing to be upfront with these sort of things, then is your position really good to begin with? No, it's unfortunately a cultural shift that I think has happened over the years in RP, because the reality of the matter is, like you know, some people have been RPing for years and others are kind of getting into it, and there is sometimes, I think, like anxiety or like whatever it might be. People are like, oh shit, what if someone thinks this about my character? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? What do you think about Craig Barrett versus Cypress? If I ever needed to be investigated, I want Craig Barrett to do it. Craig Barrett, I like him a lot. Nino's sus of him. I like Craig Barrett because he does real investigations. You may not agree with him, right? Like, obviously, Marty's getting fucked by him. Like, Nino, like, my OOC opinion is that I think Craig Barrett is very good. I think if you were to pair him up with someone that is a strong number two to him, a strong foil that does the interrogation aspect, I think you would have the start to something amazing, right? Because I will tell you this, because he used to be in my detective unit as well with this other character. I don't know what happened to her. But the only thing is, like, you need a foil for him that would, because he's kind of like Brian. He's the guy that will push the legislative envelope as deep as you can get. So you need a foil that's going to keep him from going too far, but you want that pairing because that pairing is very healthy. Without the pairing, it's dangerous.
Yellow.
What's going on, Tilly? I'll be at the PD meeting.
Okay, I'm not gonna go yet, but I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Bruce Baylor?
Bruce Baylor isn't he the guy that buys all the properties? And then
Yeah, but do you know anything about him?
He is currently under investigation for like weapons trafficking and moonshining and shit. He's got a docket case up.
Have any friends? Have you talked to him?
Wait, what's the question?
I'm just wondering. Like, have you ever talked to him? Does he have any friends? Do you know anything about this guy?
No, not really. I know he ran for mayor.
He ran for mayor?
Yep.
Huh. Have you ever like had a conversation with him, or?
Yeah, I thought he was decent. Can you tell me where this is going? I think it'd make a more constructive conversation.
I just had someone call me and they were asking him. They asked me about like right. They were asking me about they asked me if you had any plans for what's the word for it?
Stopping people like him?
Yeah, creating like a program, whatever, right?
Yes.
So I was like, I never knew.
I would say have them call me. You know what I mean? Make it easy.
Well, I never knew this guy existed, so I was like, oh well, let me look into him a little bit. And the dude has like a shit ton of cars, and a shit ton of properties, but I've never heard of this motherfucker.
This pussy bitch goes and spends all his money buying up all the properties. And while
How does he get that much money?
I don't know. Let's
That's
chat
what I'm
in a bit. Let
wondering.
me chat in a bit. Let's.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Eyeballs, obviously.
Hey.
Hello.
Where'd I leave off? Is there any other questions you got? Yeah. So TLDR, listen.
I want to go after Jenna's boyfriend, the Saint, because that's fucked up. I hate the
marshals are supposed to be. I mean, talk to Peters about it. I think the marshals are looking into it, but nothing has fucking cropped up.
Well, I had something I can do. I had something I can do on Saint. Yeah.
Okay.
I already had a huge raid I could pull on him.
Are you even a full deputy?
No, it's taking fucking forever. Well, I went to Japan for 2 weeks, so that kind of delayed it. Oh, waiting. I wanted to
gotcha.
honestly. I consider transferring, but I can't transfer until I'm full officer and then 30 days in. So
yeah. Look, I'm gonna just give you my summary of my position. I actually like Bones. I think Cassidy cannot control his fucking emotions. I think that there's, you know, stirring like with like serpent sounds and shit like that is healthy for both sides. But when you are targeting people within your department by fucking with investigations, or one department is trying to suspend the other and it's not reciprocated, that's when things get way too that's when you enter into a very dangerous you know space. But
I agree with that, but I also heard from Bobby that you wanted
Bobby is
Bobby to charge. Well, I know he is, but he said you wanted to charge officers in the BCSO.
No, I
to
didn't.
Get a felony.
Bobby.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, I know. Bobby is like the dog you tried to kill off, but they didn't. They keep coming back to your fucking front porch. Bobby has literally been asking for shit from me from God knows what. But
idiot,
yeah, he's an idiot. So I think the guy just wants to like suck me off or something like that. So he's trying to make me proud. But look, as far as my position is concerned, I think Blaine County has overhired, and as a consequence of that, you have a lot of officers, and a lot of them genuinely want to patrol down in the city. And
yeah, of course.
What they should do is fucking transfer, instead of pretending they're in a different department in a different county. And that's kind of where I'm at with things. Because
yeah, I mean, I guess, but yeah, I mean, at the moment, like shit's popping off like crazy. Things have gone crazy in the last
backing up makes sense.
Week. Like,
backing up,
it's gone nuts.
Backing up makes sense. 100%. Right, and that's where
I mean, you got a lot of officers like me who can't even transfer yet. Anyway, even if we wanted to, we can't.
Yes, I listen. If there's like a fucking gang shootout and you have a different department coming down, that's reasonable, right? What I think is unreasonable is if there's 15, 20 LSPD officers in the city, and then you tackle on another 15, 20 Blaine County down here doing traffic. Like that's where it's kind of like when you get into the over policing issue. Right?
Well, yeah. I mean, half the time it's hostages at 24/7, so you kind of have to go to them. But it can get a little crazy. But then also the criminals are fucking shitheads. So
what these examples you're providing are I would agree with, right?
Yeah.
So there's a hostage down here.
It is non-stop at the moment. It is non-stop.
Those things I agree with. Doing traffic when there's already 30 cops in the city is kind of weird.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even fucking do traffic that much anyway.
Yeah. So,
okay. Well, all I've learned today is I don't know why my high commanders hid the hell and shit from us. That's weird. And
there's probably a lot of things that you're unaware of. And like I said, at the end of the day, this is general communication, right? You're gonna hear LSPD bad, Blaine County bad, from depending on who you're talking about.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I mean, I have certain standards that I expect in the county and from law enforcement. And, you know, it's, I think things are getting better, but I'm still going to talk shit. BCSO to my dick, motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right.